You know what's really crazy is how on YouTube, I don't know if you've noticed this or if you've noticed this about yourself, how videos are becoming so quick. Not like the length, but like how they're presenting the video is just like, it's like they're constantly putting graphics and words and zooming and all these things to keep your attention. And it's so funny because I was thinking back to when I was younger. It wasn't always like that. Yeah, there were ads, and yes, there were a lot of psychological things people did to keep you watching, but it wasn't so extreme as it is now. I noticed that some videos, though, there's so much going on where you're just like drawn into it to where you don't even recall why you even started watching the video. Like you just start watching it because it's there. I think the problem is the overstimulation is causing issues. I noticed how I used to be someone who could sit down at like a conference or for a presentation, and I could literally listen to the person talk for 15, 20, 30 minutes without touching my phone, without looking around. Like you have moments obviously where you take a little break and you zone out, but that's just how your brain normally works. But I could pay attention. Now I noticed how I started to, and I shouldn't say now, like as in this moment, but when I originally started doing this kind of dopamine detox, dopamine reset, and started paying attention to this, I realized that I couldn't really watch things without doing something else. Like I couldn't watch a YouTube video without doing something else on my phone. I couldn't eat without watching TV, or not TV, YouTube, or watching a movie or listening to a book. I couldn't cook unless I was doing a podcast, listening to a podcast. Like I was feeling like I had to do something all the time. I had to be constantly stimulated. And it's very interesting to me because I was not like this before. And I think a lot of it has to do with this gradual move into short form content being like the primary thing. Nothing wrong with short form content. It's just that I think it's programming people to not really digest things. They're really just, they want this quick fix, real quick, real fast. And I think that is a problem. I think it's going to end up being a problem in the long run. I'm actually interested in looking at studies of how this might impact children, and then their children's children, and then their children's children. If you're someone where you notice that you have a problem, a serious, I don't want to say an issue, because some people it's not major, it's just little things. Like if you're someone who can't sit at the dinner table without using your phone or without watching something, or who has to have their phone with them all the time, who has to be looking at their phone all the time. When you go to a restaurant, you're eating dinner with your family, you got your phone. You're eating, you have your phone. You're doing anything, you have your phone. If you're someone who's like that, where you feel like you have that addiction, I would call it an addiction, or where you, at least a urge to use it, this video is for you. It doesn't have to be a big urge. It could be a small one. It could be a middle one. It could be full-blown addiction. For me, I made that video I think about a year ago. I'm trying to think of how long I have been without alcohol, but I made a video when I reached the 1 year mark, and I talked about how I didn't really think I can get addicted to anything. But then I realized, oh yes, you can. You can get addicted to that dopamine hit. So about a year ago, I think it's actually almost exactly a year ago. It was about April, May. I went on a hunt. I was like, I have to stop. I can't do this. Like, it's crazy that I can't watch a YouTube video without like doing something else. It was insane. I've never had that problem. And luckily, I'm so happy that I was able to heal that. I don't have to do all that when I'm watching YouTube or when I'm eating or when I'm creating anything. I'm chill. I could sit with my own thoughts. I could meditate. I could just sit in my car and be quiet for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes or more and be with my thoughts. I learned how to do this with practice, gradual over time. With that being said, in this video, I want to share some steps that you can take to be able to get out of this addiction, or to get out of this habit, to get out of this behavior and become more disciplined and focused. So now I want to go over some things that have really helped me when I was healing, improving, changing, resetting this whole dopamine addiction, or this need to constantly have things in front of me, this need for gratification that was quick, instead of being disciplined enough to go through the processes to win or to achieve the thing that I wanted. And honestly, this video, like with focus and with talking about dopamine and social media addictions, it does play into your day-to-day life, and realizing that immediate gratification does not really serve you. And they're really setting us up to fail with this, like where you think that you're supposed to get everything quick and immediate. That's not how society worked. Way back when, people had to like literally go out there and hunt to get that kind of gratification, to really just get food in their belly, to really be able to feed their family. They had to actually go out there and hunt. And probably it took them all day, because hunting is not like a thing that takes you, it's not always like, oh, we go out there and get the food. It's there. It's not like when you go to the grocery store, we have immediate gratification. You could just go get the food and move on. These people are out there hunting. They're out here respecting animals, like giving thanks to animals, because like, thank you. They understand the circle of life. I had to unalive you so that I might eat. You know what I'm saying? And there was a reverence, an honorable, like a gratitude when it came to that. Same thing with men and women, like with dating back in the day. They weren't just out there like, oh, let me go hop on an app and go holler at shorty. That's not what they did. They were either walking somewhere, on a train somewhere. They were sending wires. They had phone calls. You had a court. You had to go through processes to be able to win this person. They had to deal with rejection in a different way than we do now too. So it's like, be aware of how society, how things worked way back when, because that brain, the way our brain is, it still functions and understands the same way as those older generations, as they learned, like as they were. And your brain can get very much overstimulated with everything going around you, everything going on around you. So the next things I'm going to share are going from simple things to more advanced things to help you heal, to help you get refocused, to help you to release this dopamine hit that you're trying to get, or you are getting it. You're getting it from social media, from your phone, and whatever else, to help you heal from that. So starting with simpler to more advanced, the last one will be the dopamine reset, the dopamine detox, the dopamine fast, whatever you would like to call it. I'll share with you my version of how I did it, and then you could tweak it how you would like. First, you want to set your environment up so that it's harder for you to fail. So it's harder for you to give in, to use whatever device it is. So one of the first things I think of when I think of this, the simplest thing or simplest way to start, especially if you're someone who uses your phone all the time, is when you're going to sleep, keep your phone away from you. Don't keep it within arm's reach. Put it on a counter that's ways away. Put it in a bathroom. Put it in the corner of your room. Put it in another room if you have that available to you. If you use your phone as an alarm, use a different device, like a manual alarm clock, an analog alarm clock. I personally like my iPhone's alarm. That's why I still keep it in my room, just away from me. It's like I literally have to get up out my bed and walk to get my phone. But the reason I like it is because it's very peaceful. The birds and the bee, it's so sweet. When I wake up, I don't wake up with like, it's like peaceful, and I love it. And that's why I won't get a manual alarm clock, because then you're paying $30, $40 for this alarm clock. Why, when my phone has this free available on it? You could use your tablet as well. Another thing you can consider doing is deleting all the apps that are on your phone that you're distracted by, whether it's a gaming app, if it's Instagram, if it's YouTube, it could be Pinterest, it could just be like a Reddit, a movie forum, like there could be Telegram, Signal, like there's so many apps that could be distracting you. So like for me, I deleted things like YouTube, I deleted Pinterest off my phone, I only use it on my iPad. I had deactivated like Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. I never really used TikTok, but I had an account. So I just deactivated the account and I deleted the app because I never used it. I don't use Facebook, but maybe you use Facebook, but delete those apps that you use. It could even be a photography app. It could be a learning app that you're addicted to. It could be an adult film app. Whatever that thing is, delete it, remove it from your phone. If you're someone who uses your computer most of the time, you don't really use your phone, and the problem is the computer or the tablet, do the same thing on the tablet or the computer. Another thing you can do is you could use focus. So like when you're out and about working, or you're working at home, or whatever it may be, iPhones, and I believe Androids have it too, they have the focus feature where you could set your phone based on your preferences. So you can make it where only certain calls come through. You can make it where certain notifications are turned off. You could make your phone have only a certain, what do you call that? Wallpaper, screensaver, like certain apps on there. So on my work focus, I don't have like any apps on there except for my reading apps. I have my DJI app. I have my notes app, my reminders app, the calendar app, and I think weather. And I'm missing one, or my camera apps are available that you could see. On my normal, like the normal phone, when I have my work mode off, I have even my messages app is like removed. So like my text messages, I don't have it even on my like wallpaper. So I basically don't go in there unless somebody texts me, because the notification will come up, later on in the day. Another thing you could do is you could remove notifications altogether or customize them. So you're kind of curating your phone to be the way it needs to be based on what you need. And again, this takes a lot of self-discipline because nobody's here to tell you what to do. You have to decide, like, what do I need? What parameters do you need in place to be able to hinder you or prevent you or keep you from doing whatever the habit is that you don't want? So you could try that. Another thing you could try is you could turn your phone like into a black and white phone, make it very boring where it's not stimulating because it's not colorful. So like my phone, I'll try to put a photo of it, but basically they have an option on an iPhone where you could turn it like a grayscale. So your apps are in a grayscale. And so my apps are in a grayscale and I already had a black and white background. So it looks black and white. It looks kind of boring. And it doesn't really necessarily bother me because like I said, I've been good at this for a long time now. But there are occasions where, you do want to be on your phone. You want to just be doing something just because you're bored, in quotations, or whatever else. So you could try that as well. Even though I already mentioned this, utilize smart features on your phone. There's a lot of random features on iPhones for like productivity, for focus, that remind you if you're on a certain app. A lot of apps have these things in the app, like they're set up already where you could turn them on to say, hey, you've been using YouTube for, over an hour, do you want to take a break? And this again depends on your level of what you need. Because some people, that's not going to work. You'll just turn it off and you'll just keep scrolling. If you're someone who knows that, be aware of that too. There's also the focus mode, which I also mentioned before, making sure you're utilizing those focus modes and curating them based on your experience and what you need. Another thing to do is, just like I said with sleep, is keeping your phone away from you during the workday. This could look like you giving your phone to a coworker, an accountability partner. This could be putting your phone in a locker. This could be putting your phone, if you're working from home or somewhere near you, you could give it to your neighbor. You could also put your phone in a back room. That's what I typically do here, is put my phone in a back room when I'm at home. You could turn your phone off and then put it in the back room. Again, it all just depends on the level of what you need based on your experience. And you have to pay attention to your habits that you have now and be real honest and upfront with yourself and see if it's a problem. Because a lot of people, I would almost go as far to say that this is probably the biggest addiction, is the dopamine hit. It really is when you look, because it covers so many things. And I know that's a very broad term, but I mean, from just social media, I think that social media and adult films, I think that right there has covered the majority of addictions that people don't even realize they have. Like, it's kind of mind blowing. I think it's insane that I'll go to eat and every single table will be on their phone, like the whole family. And I'm like, what kind of example are you teaching your kids? You're over here, the wife is on the phone, the dad is on the phone, the kids are on the phone. Every once in a while you'll see where the wife's on the phone, the dad's watching a game, and then all the kids are on their tablet or playing games. And I just think that's crazy. It's like, what happened to quality time, getting to know each other, speaking to each other, communication? This carries on everything else in your life. And I think people really need to pay attention to that. Like, it probably is breaking up homes, honestly. Like, you're not able to communicate and be there in front of your people, being present with your people. Next up, before we talk about the detox, is rewiring your habits, your brain, your mental habits, your actions. One thing you could do is you could kind of do like a reward and punishment type of deal. You could say, okay, for punishment, you say whatever that the deal you make with yourself. I'm only going to use my phone every 2 hours or something, or I'm not going to use my phone for 5 hours. Like, you want to be realistic. I don't really like using that word, but be realistic. Don't set yourself up to fail, but give yourself many gradual steps to improve. So say for you say, I want to use my phone every 2 hours or every 1 hour versus every 5 minutes that you normally do. And then you say as the punishment, so if you do not, then you do this thing. For me, what I did is I tried it where I did jumping jacks. I believe that's what it was last year. Jumping jacks. For you, it might be you do push-ups. It might be you have a rubber band on your wrist and you slap yourself with the rubber band. You extend it back and hit and cause pain. It doesn't have to be painful. The punishment doesn't have to be a bad punishment. Like, doing a push-up or doing jumping jacks is healthy. So it's not like it was a terrible thing, but it also reminded me, like, oh, okay, when you do this thing, you do this, so it's like it kind of was a positive and a negative at the same time, except for if you did the rubber band scenario. For the reward, I would say it's more of a mindset shift. It's when you have the desire to use your phone, you have a desire to use your tablet, your computer, whatever that thing is, device. I want you to remind yourself of, this is what I said. I told myself that I was going to do this, that I was not going to use my phone during work hours, that I was going to focus on my craft that I have, that I was going to be present with my significant other, that I was going to be present with my kids. I said that this is what I wanted to do and this is what I'm going to do. Reminding yourself, so when you have that desire, or even when you get to that point, so like when you're actually scrolling, immediately reminding yourself and then going out of the app. That's also teaching your brain habits, like, okay, we said this is what we're going to do and we keep our word to ourselves and this is what we're going to do. I use the same concept when it comes to trichotillomania. I have a hair pulling disorder, and that's actually why I wear braids. It's so I don't twist my hair out. And so I put barriers in place to prevent myself from doing the thing that causes me the pain. Because yeah, dopamine is great, but when you have too much of dopamine, it's a problem and it will backfire and it will cause more issues. Another way you can do this with the resetting is practice keeping your mind or your focus on one thing at a time. So when you're cooking, just cook. When you're eating, just eat. When you are working, just work. And I know music has frequencies, healing frequencies, and you can listen to things for focus. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just for a certain amount of time, practicing doing things without having the stimulation, without having something in the background, and see if it helps you. It may not. It may make you more anxious. But I know that if you get overstimulated, that will make you anxious as well. So practice different things, try them out and see what works for you to help you to lean away from having this need to be overstimulated, having this need to just constantly be getting hit with dopamine. And I can't snap. So when it comes to the dopamine detox, fast, dopamine reset, whatever you would like to call it, there's a lot of people who talk about it. For me, back in a year ago, I was watching a whole bunch of videos, and one that I really like was Iman, what's his name? Iman Gadazi, or Iman, I'll just say Iman G. I really liked his and his perspective, so I made my own remix of his version of a dopamine detox. And you have to remember that this dopamine reset detox fast is helping you to kind of reprogram your brain to stop wanting and craving this instant gratification, and to not being this anxious, overstimulated, just like go personality. So that's why these 5 things, I think that's 5 things that I have on mine, I think are very useful. The first one is no social media. And I mean none. No YouTube, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter, no Pinterest, no Reddit, no Facebook, no Threads, no anything that is like a social network. Even your community of great women, you may want to clock out of that if you're addicted to scrolling your community with great and amazing women for your course. Like, none of it for 7 days. And one thing I liked about what Iman said, he said only 1 hour of phone time. So you only use your phone for the 7 days for 1 hour max, unless it's business. But honestly, I would try to make the business take it off the phone if you can, if it's off your main phone. 1 hour max. This is text messages. This is whatever it is. And honestly, I would extend this to technology in general. This is 1 hour of no computer unless it's for work, no tablet unless it's for work, no phone unless it's for work. And even I would say no TV, because some people, you're addicted to TV. You watch too much TV. This is no adult films. Anything, like for me, this is how I did it. But I don't watch adult films. I was like, but I'm saying, but if you are someone who it's technology as a whole, cater it to be based on what you need. You'll also want to do 10 minutes of meditation or prayer, or both. If you are not someone who normally meditates, you can practice with like 5 minutes or even 1 minute, but I would shoot for 10. Even if you have to do it with your eyes open and you're just sitting there, practice this. It's more about awareness than anything. It's being present. You could also practice just being quiet in your room without talking. And every time you think about something, because that's what meditation is, right? You just bring it back to present. So when you start thinking about what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do later? What did I do earlier? Oh my God, he did this to me. You come back to the present moment. That's what meditation is. Or you pray, or do both for the 10 minutes. So again, this is awareness, bringing you back into the present moment. I added on for myself, I did going outside. So for me, my other thing I did for the 7 days was making sure every single day I went outside for 5 to 10 or 15 minutes. And specifically, this was just kind of a grounding exercise to be, again, aware, to be present, to realize like outside the sun is very recharging. It's charging you up. So this could be your grounding exercise. You could knock 2 birds out with 1 stone if you want to. You can go on a guided walking awareness type of walk, a guided walk for awareness, and practice your 5 senses. So what do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you taste? What am I missing? What can you touch? or what do you feel? So it could be your feet on the ground. I actually have a video on that. I can link that below as well. But those are the things that I focused on for the 7 days of my detox. I also added in for myself, reading a self-development book, or reading a book that, it could be your Bible, it could be, again, a self-development book, it could be a book for women, it could be a poetry, but a book, something that is related to something that makes you relax, but not overstimulated. So it could be a fiction book too, but just, it's helping you get grounded again. So I did the book thing, and if you are into that, definitely try doing that. But 7 days of this, and then you can move on to the very things that I shared in the beginning of this video. And this really helped me. I also utilized Imam Gaddafi, his monk mode. I catered it more for me as a woman participating in it, but it helped me lock in. I really truly believe that when you put these steps in place, it helps you to focus better, because you're not worried about so many other things. There's so many other things. Like, there's so many things trying to get your attention. And if you could just lock in, you could create that course that you want to create. You could build that business that you've been saying you're going to build after work, when you're tired and you just feel like depleted, but you're like, I can't build it. I don't have enough time. You do have enough time. You do have time. Like, you will always make time for the things that matter. Always. This will allow you to have more time for sleep, because you're not scrolling all night. You don't have your phone next to you. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you're not going to go check your phone. You just go back to sleep. I mean, that doesn't always happen, because sometimes you have a good idea and you just like have to get up and write it. But I'm saying there's so many benefits to this that will help you and serve you in the long run. And I really challenge you, if you have children, to really start practicing these things, because your kids are watching you. I have no kids, but I observe kids all the time, and parents. And it's so interesting to me how kids do what their parents do, or at least the people that are their guardians in their lives, the people that they're around the most. And we're, as humans, we're like that too, but kids are sponges. They're absorbing this stuff so fast. And what you are doing, they are mimicking you. If you're constantly always watching TV, they're doing that. If you're always on your phone, they're doing that. They're not reading. And honestly, I don't think it's really growing your brain cells. Like, I really don't believe the shorts, even though I make shorts and reels. When I was on Instagram, I made reels too. But I don't think it's helping our brain cells, sweetheart. I don't think so. I haven't seen a study on it yet, but I'm just saying, I don't feel like it's helping me. I feel like it made me weaker mentally. And I don't know if you're like me. If you're like me, let me know if you feel like you're mentally weaker because of short content. But that's how I feel. And I'm a little worried. I'm worried. Because, yeah, we are the popcorn generation. And I think the generation after this, the people younger than me, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Stop letting all of this stuff rule your life. Please. It's killing your essence. It's taking away from you. It's depleting you. It's depleting your life force, your energy, your joy. And without you even realizing it. And that's why it's so sad to me, is that I feel like a lot of people don't even realize the impact that all this dopamine, so much of it is killing us. And I hope this video gives you some insight and some reflection for you to be able to say, like, okay, where can I improve? If you do utilize anything in this video, let me know. Or if there's something you want to add that you did or that you want to try. I always love hearing from you guys. If you want more like this video, check out one of these videos here. I'll see you in the next video. With all my love, Lana.